tomorrow I'm going to get covered on all the personal readings. So in the meantime, I'm going to leave you with some all signs readings. Yes. Let's see what your energy is like. See what we can expect in the near future. We're moving towards, we're moving away from. All that kind of shit. You know what it be like. So let's see it. Fire element. Could be a fire sign, Leo, Sag, Aries. This is the warrior, passionate, fearless. I really like the energy of fire. Fire is all about like inspiration, motivation, not taking no bullshit. Fire is a pretty fucking prominent thing. Since we're showing up with the fire energy, we're gonna use my gold foil deck today. So could be feeling inspired, or pissed. Could go either way, or so pissed that you're inspired. Let's find out. Fire can go a few different ways, right? Fire is usually associated with passions. So we've got Seven of Wands in reverse, more fire energy. But what this is telling me is that in your recent past, you made a decision or like a switch in your life, kind of a life path change, right? Like you could have introduced new friends, you could have started a new job, but it's basically like changing the course or direction that you were previously going in. And then we have Four of Swords in reverse, which tells me you haven't had time to relax. Or that, even if you do, you're not really in the energy of relaxing. It's like booked and busy rather than like chilling, So I feel like whatever this life path choice that you made, it's really like, it's bumped up like the speed and progress of your life, right? It's like, how do I put this? It's not like going in fast forward, but kind of. It's like life just kind of started speeding up, right? Like I said, you're busy. This is interesting too. Now we've got air energy. We've got the Ten of Swords with the Ace of Swords. Endings and new beginnings. Ten of Swords represents like the ending of a cycle, right? Like putting something to rest here. It's like there was something that like left you feeling a little defeated, perhaps even betrayed, or just kind of like drained, right? I'm really seeing that energy. And this guy's like got 10 swords, standing out of his back. So, this guy's obviously drained, right? You could be feeling a little exhausted too, or like, just, it could be that mental exhaustion from changing the pace of life. And we have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is all about taking action or establishing yourself in a new way. Do this. I can organize these better. Ace of Swords could also talk about like beginning communication with new people. But also what I'm seeing here more than anything is that this sword comes with a crown, right? So it's like the duty comes with authority, whatever it is. Let's dive into it. What is this Ace of Swords? You so far only have swords and wands, which is interesting because these are all like swords is air, wands is fire, and it's all based on like communication, inspiration, motivation, you know, things that are driving forces in your life. All right, tell me more. I want to know. You know what? I'm going to pull these and then pull more. Because Six of Pentacles in reverse is screaming at me right now. You're very independent. You don't like being told what to do. You don't like authority at all. Let's be real. So you're most likely a fire sign. Yeah, it's like you don't like people lording over you or like putting you in a position where you feel dependent on them. It's like you like people to be able to depend on you, but you don't want to be the one depending on others. That's what I was saying. Five of Cups in reverse tells me that you're healing from your emotional disappointments, right? Instead of like, because with the Five of Cups in the upright, this guy's just focused on these 3 cups that are spilled over, right? The things that he's lost, right? And there's still 2 cups behind him, but he's not paying attention to those. But in the reverse, it's kind of the reverse energy. It's like rather than focusing on the spilled cups and what has been lost, it's like paying attention to what is there, right? What still has your back. So alright, let's get some future energy on this. Takes money to make money. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Takes money to make money. So 10 of Pentacles in reverse with the King of Pentacles, right? And so I find this very interesting, right? Now that we're getting this earth energy in here. 10 of Pentacles talks about like your community, your family, generational wealth, that kind of stuff. And what this is telling me with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse is like, perhaps you don't come from generational wealth, or at least you're not living with like the benefits of it if you did. With the King of Pentacles, it's kind of that self-made energy. It's like, you know, it ties back into that strong, independent energy where you want people to be able to rely on you, but God forbid if you have to rely on another person, right? Also, King of Pentacles, Kingpin, right? So that's part of it. Also, you might struggle with saving money. Making money might be a lot easier for you than saving it. Same. Right? Let's be real. It's easy to get rid of your money, right? But, yeah, so there's kind of this energy of almost like a lone wolf energy with this King of Pentacles. This is somebody who, like, you don't want to rely on the flock, right? 10 of Pentacles is like real long. It's like your wealth coming from other sources, but it can sometimes come in a codependent kind of way. And you're just like, nah, nope. You're like, I will make it to myself, right? And it's kind of beautiful. I like it. You're definitely not one that's like looking for somebody to take care of you, like financially. Like, I don't get the vibe that like you'd be the kind of person that would date somebody for the sake of stability and or like financial stability or those kinds of things. It's like you have a lot of values. Put all those aside, I'm paying attention to this right here. The Devil in reverse, Capricorn energy, which is interesting because now you got a lot of Earth showing up. You might have Capricorn in your chart. Also, with the Devil in reverse, this is avoiding temptation. Or, see, let me first go into what the Devil means, right? The Devil represents temptation, lust, debauchery, right? Indulgence, instant gratification, toxicity, obsession, those kinds of things. You know, like just all encompassing all the negative shit, right? And with the Devil being in reverse, it's kind of like you're really letting go of like negative forces or influences in your life. With the Ace of Wands showing up here, passionate new beginning. This is like, it's because your passions are being awakened at this time, right? It's like there's something that is better than all that toxic shit, right? And it's like, and that's what you're really grasping at this point. You're really like focusing on what brings you fulfillment. I like to look at the cards I could see first because I'm like, I was meant to see those first. I saw Knight of Wands pop up. Knight of Wands could be somebody coming in with an offer, an opportunity. What's interesting, seeing the Knight of Wands with the Ace of Wands here, it's like you received an offer. I feel like this has already happened, or it will happen, right? Because if you notice, he's got this wand in his hand, and then here I see you taking the wand for yourself, right? And it's like accepting an offer. It's, yeah. And then we have 10 of Cups. 10-10, endings and new beginnings. We started out this reading in that energy too, of the endings and new beginnings, right? Having the what was it, 10 of Swords? Yeah, 10 of Swords and Ace of Swords. Endings and new beginnings there. Then we have 10-10. 10 represents endings and new beginnings. 10 of Cups is better than 10 of Pentacles, in my opinion. It's because you're not making connections for the sake of financial gain or stability or those kinds of things. With 10 of Cups, this is about emotional fulfillment, right? This is about feeling a different kind of wealth, right? It's about what you value, right? What you look forward to, like, it's your wish fulfillment. It's your wish fulfillment. 10-10-10. All right, now you got endings and new beginnings in your mind, body, and spirit. You're changing your mind in every aspect, okay? Because I'm seeing Ten of Wands here. I don't know why, but these cards are fun to flip like this. Ten of Wands. If you notice, he's got a big burden, right? It's like carrying the weight of the world on his shoulder. Also, this is having a lot to get off your chest, right? Like, this could be in regards to past things. And I feel like this is what leads up to this Ten of Cups, is like, you have to let go of the things that hinder you, right? You have to let go of people and mindsets that set you back or halt your progress. With the Hanged Man in reverse, and well, let's start with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, actually, because this is the energy of letting go, right? And so you could have let go of a past job. Like I said, I see you taking up a new offer here, so I do get that feeling that you could have switched jobs. You got 3 aces, yeah. 3 aces, 1, 1, 1. That is the first step, right? The first card in the Major Arcana is the Magician card, which is funny that it's not here yet. I say yet because it could perhaps be here. But it's funny because it's definitely the energy of that. It's like being very resourceful. It's kind of like working behind the scenes, doing, a lot of manifesting too. So like also, if you're in the mindset of we're always manifesting, always, right? It's energy, right? We attract what we focus on. And so if you're focusing on negative outcomes, or you're focusing on shitty people, you're focusing on those kinds of things, you're gonna manifest a lot more of that. But when you let go, right, and you just kind of end up in the mindset of gratitude, and you're like, I'm grateful for this new opportunity. I'm grateful that I set down my burdens and I carried on. And I'm grateful that, like, even though I suck at saving money, I'm good at making money, right? So it's like, there's some balance in there. It's like, find the things that bring you more gratitude. And when you have more gratitude, it just like you're focusing your energy on what you really want, right? And then it helps you to like manifest more of that. With the Hanged Man in reverse, this is the key, right? It's the key to get you off the hook. The Hanged Man is hanging by his foot upside down, right? And he's just like, his arms are free. This fool, he could just do one curl up and free himself, right? He has his other leg free. He could use that to hoist him up to the thing so that he could free. It's like he has too many ways out of this shitty situation. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here, is you're seeing the way. You're seeing the way past the obstacles. And kind of, what? This actually reminds me of Ryan Holiday. He wrote this book called The Obstacles Away. You should read it. It's good. There's like even an audiobook if you don't do reading. Sometimes like I like listening to audiobooks just when I'm cooking, because I'm like, I can't hold a book and cook at the same time, but hell, I can listen to one, and so yeah, I just get this energy that you're letting go of the things that hinder you. And I feel like a lot of this is like emotional burdens. I feel, especially with the Ten of Cups showing up, because you're not focused on this material shit with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. You're focused on much more than that. What you want. And it's, I also want to lead you to this other thought process that don't focus too heavily on outcomes, right? Focus on the gratitude. If you like having certain people in your life, just be grateful for them every day, and you'll see more of them. But if you if you catch yourself obsessing with like, I have to have this outcome to be happy, or I have to, that's where you messed up. You don't need an outcome to be happy. You need to be happy to get the outcome. And focusing on the outcome makes you even further away from it. It's like one of those finger traps, you know. It's like the more you pull, you know, it creates that like resistance, so you can't free your fingers, right? But if you simply just relax with it, you know, then you can unbind yourself from it, you know. And if you know, it's counterintuitive because you think, oh, if I go this way I'm going to be free, but no, it's like you have to do the opposite. You know. So don't focus on the outcome, focus on the present, right? What are you presently grateful for? um there's like a fear of rejection here. I'm saying that because Page of Pentacles in reverse with the Nine of Swords. It's like, I'm not sure if that's in her. I don't know what. Let's just carry on. So, okay. It's kind of like the Page of Pentacles is about making an offer, right? And I saw you as a King of Pentacles, so you know, you're the one with the pentacle to offer, or, you know, but with the Nine of Swords, it's like being all up in your head, like, that would never work, that, how, da da da, it's that focus on the outcome. And that's part of the burden you gotta release, is the focus on the outcome. It's kind of like, and I'm sorry if they're the ones watching this, but I know some people, I'm not gonna name names, I'm not a dick, but I feel like it's just very relevant to this, where I have this really good friend, and he like fell in love with this chick, right? Head over heels, was like, I'm stuck, you know, and it was kind of interesting watching this whole thing unfold because, like, the more that, like, okay, let me just put it this way. Like, before, when he was just like, you know, meeting her, hanging out with her, and all those things, he was like, being able to see her all the time. There was no resistance. There was like all this camaraderie. Like, it was just very mutual, very easy, very even flow, right? But then he got a little like, how do I put this? Like, he wanted her, right? For himself. It's where you fuck up with love. If you love somebody and they're giving you their time every day, that's fucking dope, right? And it's like, but then he starts pushing, I need this title. I need it to be this kind of relationship. I need, you know, da 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 da. And then it literally pushed her further and further and further away, right? And it's like, rather than just letting something organically fall into place like it had started to, it's like he just needed, I have to have this title, we have to live this kind of life. It was the focus on the outcomes, right? It was like this need to not just love somebody but to possess them, right? Believe me, we've talked about it. I've called him out on it. Don't worry. That's why I'm able to do it here. You know, and it's kind of like, that's where we fuck up with love every time. Every time. The second we think that we own somebody or are entitled to them, entitled to their energy, entitled to whatever the fuck, that's where we fuck up. Every time. And this reminds me of this awesome video I watched by Rabbi Abraham Tversky. And he said, you know what, I'm gonna say it just like he did, because I love the way he did it. He starts the video out and he's like, "Young man, why are you eating that fish?" And the young man looks at him and he's like, "Well, because I love fish." And he's like, "Well, if you love the fish, why did you pull it out of the water, boil it, and eat it?" Right? Like, that's not love. Like, so much of what we see as love is fish love. It's like wanting it for what it can do for you, rather than just loving the fish for being the fucking fish that it is. Let it swim, you know? But this is, you know, and so I feel heavily with this. Don't worry about rejection, and don't focus so heavily on outcomes. I feel like the things that flow organically, it's just such a better outcome. It's just such a better outcome, you know, when there's no expectations. Then you can have way more gratitude for the amount of time and energy that you're actually getting, right? Time and energy is currency. We literally sell our time and energy to our jobs. So, like, if it's currency, think of it like currency, okay? You get way more from a person, right? It shows so much value. If somebody is like, "You know what? I'm going to take time out of my personal time and energy that I'm not being paid for to hang out with this individual," right? That's so much fucking better than, you know, like just, you know, if you really love somebody, you don't need to own them. You don't need to put your claws in them, you know? It's funny, like, the one person I think I know that I've loved more than anybody is somebody that I've just never even been with, right? And I think that was a big lesson for me too. Like, I'm, you know, just throwing that out there. I've experienced, you know, the fear of rejection, then being rejected, you know, and then dealing with that. And it's like, and, you know, rejection's kind of beautiful sometimes, because it opened up my mind. Because then I was confronted with this, well, do I stop being their friend because they rejected me? No. I still love them, right? I still want what's best for them. I still want to be there for them. I want to support them in whatever capacity is available to me, right? Whether it's romantic or not. Like, you know, it's just that energy of, like, if you really love somebody, it's not about ownership. It's not about rejection. It's not about all that, you know. It's about feeling and admiring and appreciating, you know, the things that we struggle to do in relationships. That's what it's about. It's, you know, it's not about attaining anything from anybody. Nobody can give you anything you can't give yourself. Bottom line. Money? Food? Orgasms? Dates? What can they give you? You can't give yourself. You know, like, really, like, focus on that. And the less that you need people, the more they gravitate towards you, which is kind of funny. But it's because it's a healthier way of caring about somebody, right? It's a healthier way of loving somebody. It's, you know, and that's, I mean, I think the purest form of love is friendship, because those, you can love a friend for your whole life and they don't have all these crazy expectations that put you in a position to lose them, right? Everything gets complicated with sex. Okay, I get it, everything does. But also, just because somebody gives you, like, access to their body doesn't mean that you own the body. You know, it's like, that's still their body. They get to choose who entertains it. You know, And, this is, I feel like if you're really diving into like soul contracts and those types of things, a lot of the lessons in attraction and soul contracts and karmic relationships and all that shit, the biggest lesson you're gonna learn from all of that is that you never had them to begin with. You understand? Like, you never had, if you could break up with somebody, you never had them to begin with. They were already theirs. They were just giving you time and energy. They were giving you currency another way, right? And so nobody has ever been ours, right? And as an Aquarius, I detest the idea that anybody could ever belong to anybody else, right? Slavery is illegal. It was officially made illegal in Oregon last year, okay? So we're not doing that. People don't own each other, right? And I feel like it's so much easier when people don't have those expectations to be able to give your time and energy to people without the pressure, without the fear, without the things. It's just let it flow, let it organically take place, and don't push it. When we start pushing and we start, that's where the resistance comes in. That's where things start falling apart. That's where toxicity leaks in. It's like, that ain't love. It's infatuation. It's lust. And that's fleeting. Love is not fleeting. Why do you think people break up with their boyfriends and stay best friends with their best friend their whole life? Because love is not fleeting, right? Whereas infatuation is. And defining it, like finding the difference in yourself is the hardest thing too. It's like, how do we separate that? Well, would you love them if they rejected you? Would you still want to see them and hang out with them and be their friend and give a fuck? Even if you couldn't have them. That was something in, a previous relationship that really kind of broke my heart. That, like, not many things can break my heart, but, that, like, I had one ex in particular who looked me dead in the eyes and said, I can't be your friend if I can't be with you. And I was like, that's fucking disgusting. Because, like, we were friends before this, right? Like, and nobody ever owned anybody, And so, just throwing out that little bit of wisdom that I've experienced, that I've learned from experience, it's just like, and that's where, like, fear, doubt, and insecurity have no home in love. They don't. It's the opposite. If you're feeling fear, doubt, and insecurity, you're not feeling love. Because you can't feel fear, doubt, and insecurity when you're feeling love. You just can't. It doesn't happen like that. So if you need something to help you define it, then there you go. If you feel any kind of fear, doubt, or insecurity with somebody, that ain't love. It ain't love. You little sneaky son of a bitch. Okay, no, I'm kidding. So, got 9 of Pentacles in reverse here. Which tells me, I know you're independent. I know you want to do things the hard way. Right? But with the 9 of Pentacles in reverse here, I feel like you're gonna learn something about, like, collaboration, right? It's not like codependence. It's not like you need somebody else to grow with. But this is like saying you don't have to do it alone anymore. And I'm seeing that because, in particular, the next card is the Lover's card, right? Gemini energy. Which is interesting. Because the Lovers represents real love, right? This is major arcana. This is not minor arcana, Two of Cups, right? This is major arcana. And Gemini, this is the Gemini card, right? Gemini is represented by the twins, right? And so the twins, twin flames, right? We could associate with this major arcana love, right? A soul connection. Kingdom spouses, if you will, right? There's so many different names for it. Kingdom spouses, twin flames, split atoms that evolved into two different people, whatever, you know, but they're not different people, you know. That's the paradox of quantum entanglement. But you see this mountain behind them. They have to overcome a lot to get here, right? And you see Raphael up here. This is divinely guided, right? This is something that, like, this is a union brought together by the divine, right? So, I mean, when Raphael makes big decisions, fuck anybody who tries to go against it, right? And what's interesting is Raphael's hair is fire. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? Probably. But in the first card that came out was Fire Element. There's a lot of passion. There's a lot of respect, right? Like, seeing them the way that they are, like, naked with each other. In tarot, nakedness is different than just, like, not having clothes on, right? Nakedness is vulnerability, right? This is being on an equal ground, right? There's not one thing. And if you notice, the lovers are the same height, right? Which, you know, it's kind of like saying this is, like, an equal, right? This is not somebody, there's not, like, a hierarchy of, like, power. There's not, like, a power trip here. This is, like, a power couple here. So it's, you know, it's that real shit. But be careful, because on her side, I see the tree of knowledge with a snake around it. So, you know, she might try to make you eat apples. Don't do that. I'm just kidding. Unless you're the girl, then don't do that. You know what? I think that's a good point to leave this off with, actually. I've been going on a whole tangent. This is a pretty good reading. I feel like it was more of a conversation than a reading, to be honest. So... get out of your head and into your heart. Alright? Let that shit guide you, alright? Don't overthink anything. The second you overthink it, you ruin it. Damn. My Kali deck wants to talk too. Alright, so usually I only get like 1 or 2 cards. We got Saber. So Blue Tara. Chaos will give way to the higher order of love. Let there be peace in your heart. As Blue Tara looks to her right, gazing toward the future, she sees a vision of your peaceful, protected, and authentically expressive future. You have every right to feel hopeful, happy, and secure in the destiny now unfolding for you. I love that it says hopeful, happy, and secure, because I was literally saying, like, fear, doubt, and insecurity is like the devil. And, you know, it's kind of like saying, you know, tap into that opposite energy, right? Hopeful, happy, secure, confident. Because no matter who the fuck you are, you have something nobody else has, right? And in that alone, you should feel secure, right? You can't be replaced by anybody in any situation. Kali Komasu Nisini. It is time to free yourself from what has been. Learn from it, but not allow it to define you or direct the course of your life. Give up your stories about the past. You have outgrown them. Kali consumes mistakes, sins, and negativities. Let her free you now so you can be open to the gift of your life unfolding. Dharma of Kali. Do you know what Dharma is? Well, I'll talk to you about Dharma, right? We know about karma, right? Dharma is similar, but you don't have to wait until the next life, right? And when we get our Dharma, you know what? I'll read the card. But, because I don't want to go on a whole other tangent. Just read up on Dharma. Your most abundant successes manifest when you are aligned with your integrity. You do not need to put your faith in pathways or projects that do not resonate with your deeper spiritual knowing. Everything that is happening in your life is part of how your prayers are being answered. A new order is to be established and you're being led into it. So yeah, this is like, Dharma is what we manifest with our intentions, right? Not so much our actions, like karma, right? Dharma has a lot to do with our intentions, where our heart is, where our head is, those types of things. Durga Kalika, hair on me. In unusually challenging situations, the ways that we've supported ourselves during more ordinary times are insufficient. We need to be open to divine inspiration, protection, and proceeding in new ways. Here is a portent of unexpected success. Even if everything appears to be going against you, the tide shall turn through divine grace. So, that's pretty much what I have for you. I hope this was helpful. Namaste. I love you guys, and I'll catch you later.